What's up, Renegade Nation? Before we begin the video, I want to give a shout out to our most recent Patreon supporters and YouTube members. The Hollow King, Chris Gambrell, Mr. Play Beautiful, Beaver Gaming 64, Wildcat, Mark, Lord of Electricity, Matthew Valente, Beta's Bandicoot, Nightwolf 37, Vocaloider 97, Septimius, Arcturus Archer, Matt E, Phantom Knight, Geno, Heidi Markham, Zooksers, Roadrunner Run TV, Kevin, by the way I'm a girl, Anene, David, Diablo 2604, Haley Mitchell, Joseph Allen, Lix Productions, Alan Barty, Ashley White, Sleepless, Mr. I Like Spam, and Magnum123. And I'd also like to give a big shout out to our executive producers, Joshua Fix, The Gimpster 101, and Bevan Brummett. Thank you all very much for your support. If you want to become a YouTube member, click the join button, which is down by the subscribe button down below. And if you want to become a Patreon supporter, feel free to click the link down below in the description to find out more. We'll see you there.
That is not gonna help them.
Well, I'm not sure how we're going to be able to...
They took away this man's gun recently.
So excited!
My God.
Death battle time it is.
Haha! Of course it's time for a death battle. Are you ready to get killed, Yoda?
Overestimate yourself, you do. Death will come for you eventually.
That's not something Yoda would say. It's like,
Never fall asleep.
fall asleep. Like, what would Yoda say? Just be like,
Greed has driven you to be weaker than me.
I don't think so. I mean, after all, I own you now. Gosh. That's a simple fact about this. I mean, Mickey literally just owns Yoda. He owns him. I mean, all Mickey has to do is you're like, okay, Star Wars is canceled. Haha. And then all of a sudden,
Technically, they already did cancel Yoda. A long time ago. He's kind of dead.
well, yeah, but at the same time,
Before that's Disney, that whole, whatever.
yeah, and leave it to Disney's CEO to literally. I literally imagine,
Except for they brought him back as a Force ghost that could still use Force fighting somehow. So I guess Disney
I don't
actually
know.
made him more powerful than
Well,
he even should have been.
leave it to Disney's CEO to literally just be like, you know that meme of the dog sitting in the room where everything's on fire, and he's like, this is fine.
Yeah.
That's literally him. He is literally watching Disney's numbers go down, and he's just like, this is fine. I mean, Jesus, man. I mean, it's not fine. I mean, let's be honest here. This is, Disney is in dire straits in certain regards. In terms of, their actual stores. They've had to close over 60 of their stores nationwide, dude. I mean, Disney Plus, their numbers were looking good, and now ever since the whole Gina Carano incident, which, that's a whole thing of can of worms that, I don't want to get into, but I'll say this much. From them doing that and them pretty much having no excuse for the reason, for why they did it, outside of just shitty hyperbole, I mean, their numbers have gone down and they've had nothing but egg on their face. And from what it looks like, they're trying to make sure oh no, everything's good. I applaud these people here for their actions. It's really you applaud them for their actions. List one good thing that they've done list one good thing they've done outside of the Mandalorian and Rogue One. I mean, it's not much. Well, that and the Clone Wars final season was also really good. There's a few things that they've done, but it's not been because of the person who's at the helm of Star Wars, and the helm of Lucasfilm. Instead, it's actually people who are passionate about Star Wars and actually want Star Wars to succeed. But yeah, so Death Battle released their first episode of the newest season. It's Yoda versus King Mickey. So,
When I heard that, I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense because they're both like little gremlins that just like jump around with keys, basically. So,
well,
or not keys, but
swords, yeah, because Mickey's got a sword, whereas
Mickey's got a
Yoda's
key, which is a sword. and
yeah,
got a
whereas
lightsaber.
Yoda's got a lightsaber, and they both have magic and all that good stuff. Plus,
So I don't really,
they're both iconic.
I don't know how in depth they ever went with Kingdom Hearts lore regarding Keyblades and what they actually are and everything, because even though I've played nearly every Kingdom Hearts game now, come to think of it, like I really don't know much of anything about how Keyblades actually work.
Well, there's two you need to know.
They've said like a couple of things off and on, and like never really superly in depth expanded on them.
Well, there's two things you really need to know about the Keyblades in particular. The two primary Keyblades are the Master Keys, the Master Keyblades, which are the ones that Sora has and the one that Mickey has. The one that Sora has is from the world of light. The one that Mickey has is from the world of darkness. So both of them have pretty much like the highest of tier keys. And also, I don't know what all they're gonna account in on the Kingdom Hearts lore, which
So one of my whole
there's a
questions
lot.
is like that you have to start with anytime that you put a Jedi versus anyone is, can this person's weapon actually block a lightsaber?
I've seen, well, yeah, I would say so, because pretty much Xemnas had a lightsaber, and Sora and Riku were able to stop it pretty easily.
I'm guessing Keyblades are pretty like magical and probably able to block pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Probably pretty indestructible for the most part.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to see. Anyway, we've got the death battle queued up here. Let's give it a watch. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
Thank you to Harry's for sponsoring this episode. Too often, we gotta choose between quality and a fair price. But with Harry's, that ain't a problem. For a limited time, Harry's is offering their starter set plus a free body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/death. Harry's delivers a close, comfortable shave at only $2 per refill. Again, for a limited time, Harry's has an exclusive offer for you guys. New customers can get a Harry's starter set and a free body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/death. That's a $16 value.
harrys.com/death.
Get a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, exchange gel, a travel cover, and a travel-size body wash. It's an incredibly great deal, but act fast while supplies last. Go to harrys.com/death to redeem your offer.
Never heard of Harry's.
Never heard of Harry's?
Yoda, the legendary Jedi Master
Me
of
neither.
Star Wars fame. And King Mickey, His Highness of Disney Castle from Kingdom Hearts. These two have proven time and time again that size matters not. But let's see which of these tiny titans can swing their way to victory in a one-on-one duel. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
10 years of death battle.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a Jedi there was. Master he is. Yoda his name. You're not gonna keep doing that, are you? Tell me what to do. You cannot. Okay, the mysterious Grand Master Yoda devoted his life to the ways of the Force and to leading the Jedi Order, a group of noble peacekeepers. They took it upon themselves to maintain a state of tranquility in the galaxy. Don't be fooled by all that talk of peace, though. They're like superhuman samurai. Jedi consistently take on hordes of baddies by themselves, and they've been doing it for centuries, way before the start of the Galactic Republic. At which point, the Jedi became much more entangled in, let's just say, government affairs.
Politics.
Oh, sure, that's what the space wizards were missing. Politics. The Jedi Council began weighing in on various matters to both protect democracy and avoid violent conflicts. Except they kinda screwed the porg on that front. The Clone Wars wasn't just a fantastic series by George Lucas and Dave Filoni, it was also an awesome miniseries by Genndy Tartakovsky. And it was a horrific war that wiped out the Jedi, erased the Republic, and saw the rise of the Empire. Sure, that too. Spoilers, man. As the Jedi Grand Master, Yoda led the Grand Army of the Republic, a military force almost entirely comprised of clones, aka disposable people. Man, that gets really messed up if you think about it too long.
Yeah.
So I won't! Despite his small, frail appearance, Yoda could absolutely hold his own in combat. In fact, he's considered one of the most powerful Jedi of his era.
Peculiar
He's
speech
trained all
pattern
the
he
greats.
has.
Do what?
The very last thing on the list was a peculiar speech pattern he has.
Yeah. That's actually was attributed to Frank Oz, because Frank Oz was doing, when he was doing like the voiceover work for it and everything, he was just like riddle speak. Because it's just like, it's like, try you do not. It's like, yeah, he played around with that, and that's eventually what it came to be.
It's like Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, and even Liam Neeson. Where do you think he got that particular set of skills from?
All of Yoda's 900 years of experience certainly came in handy, like when he battled Count Dooku and Darth Sidious, two of the most powerful Sith Lords ever known.
Both Jedi and Sith usually come with the standard issue lightsaber, a badass weapon for a more badass age. They're pretty versatile too, with 7 different forms of combat styles. And don't think Yoda's gonna miss out on all that laser sword swinging. He's mastered all 7
Well, he's
styles.
900
even though he's
years
only
old.
2 feet high. Hell, most lightsabers are taller than he is.
Which is why he specializes in the 4th form, Ataru. This style focuses on utilizing the Force to increase a Jedi's capabilities, allowing them to attack at blurring speeds with incredible precision.
Basically, he can flip-flop around like a ninja frog. Wait, is he actually Kermit?
This does still mean Yoda has a
Wrong
sort of
voice actor.
handicap in physical combat, as his stature requires him to use the Force far more than most opponents just to keep up. While the Force is beyond the body and seemingly infinite, too much effort all at once can put a strain on a person and even kill them. However, Yoda is truly a master of the Force, potentially more so than any other Jedi. He has moved starships with his mind and lifted hundreds of droids at once.
He can also use mind tricks, illusions, and a technique called Tuna Minus. That's when Jedi block or catch and redirect energy, like lightning, blaster bolts, or even other lightsabers.
It's safe to say that Yoda greatly prefers using the Force in combat over his Jedi weapon.
Wiz, if I ever get one of those laser swords and toss it away, you totally have permission to kill me.
Interesting. Dummy? Just let me see your hand.
My hand? Ow!
Okay, now place your finger there.
No? Jeez, Marshall would never make me do something like this.
Marshall? Who's Marshall?
Huh? Oh, the DBX Ringmaster guy. That's his real name. We were roommates in college. He's helping me track down my dad, because he's my best bud.
Oh, best bud, huh?
What the hell was that?
Finally, I won't be the only one.
Wait, what just happened?
Anyway, the Force is capable of much more than a lightsaber. Kip Duron, a Jedi whose potential has been compared to Yoda, utilized it to move a gravity well-generated void, basically a black hole created by a ship, to strike the right balance of pressure in order to move a singularity. Theoretically, you would need to exert an energy output equivalent to almost 14 petatons of TNT.
Jedi are also super fast. They have blocked blaster bolts, of course, but they can also keep up with droid tri-fighters and Magna Guards, which both are clearly stated to have near light speed reflexes. Holy crap, who's building these things?
Furthermore, Jedi can use the Force to glimpse into the distant future through meditation. They can even allow the Force to guide their movements and predict danger in advance. Needless to say, all of these incredible feats would be impossible without the Force.
But with powers like that and a dash of political meddling, it was only a matter of time before these peacekeepers became soldiers, even generals.
In a surprising move, Yoda actually chose to engage the rising separatist threat with an army of his own, personally kicking off the Clone Wars himself.
Too bad it was, as the Fishman says, a trap.
The war took a sour turn, and the demise of the Jedi became all but assured. By the time they put the pieces together, it was too late. The Order fell into darkness.
More like brutally murdered into darkness. And you know, it's kind of their fault in a way. They were so committed to talking about peace, but at the same time, they're like really, really good at killing people.
Why do peacekeepers need to be so specifically trained in murder? So uncivilized.
Wiz, get over yourself. If you had a lightsaber, you'd want to use it as much as you could too.
Though the Jedi Order under Yoda did seem somewhat hypocritical, he would come to realize his follies, like the Council's sanctimonious excuses for betraying students like Ahsoka when they were needed most.
They ripped out our sweet Padawan rat tail, you assholes! But yeah, he finally figured out wars not make one great. Especially if you're a tiny green muppet.
Haunted by his mistakes and perturbed by the violence he helped bring upon the galaxy, Yoda went into self-imposed exile. He even gave up his lightsaber. And finally, he would train one last apprentice, Luke Skywalker.
Yoda taught Luke everything he could before finally becoming one with the Force, gaining immortality as a spooky blue spirit just like Obi-Wan and Liam Neeson.
And Luke, he went on to reverse many of the mistakes of Jedi's past. ending the Empire, redeeming his father, bringing balance to the Force, and inspiring a new, different generation. In the end, Yoda's greatest lesson of all was that oftentimes failure is our greatest teacher.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
Mickey Mouse, Disney's
yes.
OG OC. You know him as a cute corporate mascot that hangs out with other cute animals and lives a pretty normal domestic life. But did you know he's also an insanely powerful warrior mage that fights darkness to save the Disney universe alongside a young boy and his good old duck and dog buddies? No,
Wrong
not that
dog.
dog, the other one.
Yes, welcome to the world of Kingdom Hearts, a collection of worlds where Kingdom Hearts is the heart of the worlds and the source of ultimate wisdom and power across all kingdoms and worlds.
You know, my favorite thing about Kingdom Hearts is how straightforward it is.
My favorite part is how it's ruled by that 92-year-old mouse wizard.
Kidding when he
Yeah,
said that?
here he-
Yes, he was. I just love how straightforward it is.
I was gonna say, like, Kingdom Hearts seems straightforward when you're given a summary of it, and then you actually play them and you're just like, holy fuck, this universe is complicated, it's all fucking shit.
Gotta love Tetsuya Nomura.
It's like,
Is
I
it?
played through like so many of the Kingdom Hearts games in just one go because I had slept on like all of them since like the beginning of the second game, and I had never actually finished the first game. And like, I still don't know if I fully understand what the fuck is actually going on in those games.
There's some explanation videos I've watched that actually tie some lines together, and you know what? It's not bad. Not bad. Anyway, back to this.
Just Mickey. He's King Mickey, the ruler of Disney Castle and the leader of the Guardians of Light, a group of Keyblade wielders who combat darkness.
King Mickey and the other Guardians, like Sora, remember him, protect the worlds using magic and powerful weapons known as Keyblades.
Those things are the real deal. They can perform a whole bunch of spells, deflect lasers, and even unlock almost anything. Get it? Is there keys? Mickey swung a lot of keys around, but his current and best is his star cluster.
The king underwent rigorous training as an apprentice to the great sorcerer Yen Sid. After some incidents involving a few too many brooms, he eventually became a sorcerer and Keyblade master himself.
Keyblades are basically like wands that can channel the user's magic for spells like Pearl, Mind Shield, and Faith Volley, which are all based on light energy magic.
He can also heal himself and others with Kiraga and Healing Light, and that's honestly still just the tip of the iceberg.
With the Stopsa spell, he can freeze time for the length of an entire battle. Damn!
Then there's Mickey's most powerful and most legendary spell, Ultima, which is basically a massive, devastating release of all of Mickey's light magic at once.
The only downside is these spells do require a lot of magic energy to use, which is also limited to Mickey's own energy.
Say what?
He's just Ultima. The only time I actually know of that I've seen Ultima be used so far was in Final Fantasy IX by Kuja.
You'll... Kingdom Hearts 3.
I mean, I know, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the protagonist can get the spell, too, later on in the games, but it's like an in-game spell, but, like, spoilers for Final Fantasy IX, if you haven't played it, I absolutely recommend you do so. It's a very underrated Final Fantasy game, in my opinion, but at the end of the third disc, there's a big fight between, well, you have to fight two other bosses, and then you fight Kuja for probably, I think, the second time. The first time he just straight up, I think, face rolls everybody, or he just doesn't even fight you and leaves. I can't remember. I think he actually, Beatrix is the one that face rolls you in that fight again. But you have to fight him, and he's hard to fight in general, and then when you do actually beat him, he just goes into trance and casts Ultima on your party and knocks everybody out anyways. So
As you do.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Also, he does need the Keyblade to channel it. There's not much the mouse can do without his Keyblade, except for be a cute and cuddly mascot.
Well, even if he does lose it, Mickey can immediately summon the Keyblade back to his hand.
Whoa, let me try.
Boomstick, if you really want another beer, just go get one. Oh my god, it works!
No, it was just me.
Well, Keyblades can also be used to lock worlds and doors in order to keep out Heartless, which are corrupted beings split from the darkness of a person's heart with a desire to consume.
Wait a second, Wiz. Pluto is a dog, but so is Goofy. But Goofy gets to walk around and fight with Sora and Donald, and Pluto just eats and sleeps like a normal dog. This must mean that Pluto is Goofy's Heartless.
Do you have a concussion?
Oh, always. On top of all of his advanced magic, Mickey's mega tough. When Heartless stack up, they can form a huge mass and take the shape of a giant twister called a Demon Tower. And Mickey's tanked a couple beatings from him.
He's also survived this huge explosion from when the Keyblade was destroyed.
Yeah, he means the X-Blade. It's just pronounced like Keyblade, even though it's just one Keyblade. The series is so confusing.
Most Keyblades are capable of equally incredible feats. Sora could slice through several buildings with his Keyblade, and Mickey's rescued him on more than one occasion. Which makes sense, he's the leader after all, and can match any of them in power.
But Sora's no joke. He went up against Hercules, a demigod that launched a 1,600-ton rock titan into space. But that's nothing compared to his dad, Zeus. That guy can move stars, and not even he can compete with the foes that Mickey's tangling with.
The Guardians of Light and their Keyblades are immensely strong, but they also have great speed to match. Roxas's Heart was able to move far above the speed of light in order to travel across galaxies, from the Radiant Garden back to the Keyblade Graveyard in a matter of seconds.
What?
And like any great ruler, Mickey's also remained a constant pillar of hope for all, even during some of the darkest times.
And with the help of his friends, the king was able to bring the darkness to an end and stop Xehanort, a Keyblade master hell-bent on getting the power of Kingdom Hearts.
While Sora battled Xehanort, Mickey and the rest of the Guardians finally closed Kingdom Hearts for good, preventing the power from falling into the wrong hands.
That mouse had it all figured out. The real key to saving the world is your friends. If each one of them also has a super powerful magic sword, that's also a key.
Despite his long journey, King Mickey never wavered and led the way with his optimism, perseverance, and most important of all, the light inside.
Now, Sora, let's close this door for good. Don't worry. There will always be a door to the light.
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, if you want some extra force in the sack, try out Blue Chew.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same...
Harry's.
I guess they had two sponsorships.
I guess so.
Blue Chew. Blue Chew! For those who want to those who want to feel 10 years younger.
Now, it's time for a death battle!
Okay. Who you got?
So... Here's the thing with this, is I feel like what they're probably going to do is give it to Mickey.
I think so too.
But I think Yoda would actually win. I just feel like that's not what they're going to go with. I feel like Yoda will win through the Force alone. The Force is just like, it's kind of like an I win button to an extent, because it's going to give him the ability to like essentially feel, you know, his opponent's emotions, like their actions coming towards them, and like him being able to react,
do something
to
about
everything
it.
Essentially,
yeah.
Like the Force is a very, very powerful tool, and he's one of the most experienced users with the Force. And even though Mickey's really strong and has beaten a lot of characters that you wouldn't think that Mickey should ever be able to fucking beat, like I still feel like Yoda would win due to the Force. But I feel like they're gonna give it to Mickey just because of
reasons.
Just reasons, yeah.
That's fair enough. Well, I'm gonna pick. Okay, you picked Mickey. I'm gonna pick Yoda. I don't know. Probably gonna regret it, but I am gonna pick Yoda.
I'm basically picking both. I'm like, Yoda should win, but Mickey's
gonna win the battle.
Like, yeah.
So, all right. Anyway, I guess let's see what happens. Here we go.
Difficult to find, you are. A king, you must be.
And to challenge me, you must be a master.
Okay.
This is so goofy.
My first
No pun intended.
This is not.
You could have fooled me.
I feel like Yoda would have sensed that coming at his back. So he hit right in the back like that.
Back at you, pal.
Just decked him with a stick. Uh-oh.
The path to victory. This is not the Force. I must trust.
Oh, gosh. You sure are strong. But it's time to end this tussle.
Surrender, you shook. The power of the Force. You have not.
I can try. All I need is the light.
Do or do not. There is no try.
What a shame.
Worry, do not. One with the Force, I am.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
That
Well, there you
green
go.
rascal, a trump.
There you go. You were right. Nick won that one.
On to the bitter end. I love it.
The Grand Master Yoda was one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, but the Force was ultimately no match for the light.
Yoda's gotta be one of the best sword fighters Mickey's ever faced, and definitely gave him a run for his money.
While Jedi have battled foes with near light speed reactions, a Keyblade Guardian like Mickey could move several times faster. In order for Roxas to travel across at least 4 star systems, he'd need to be moving almost 170 million times faster than light.
They've also rubbed shoulders with guys like Hercules and Zeus, who moved whole stars. There are hundreds of celestial bodies there. The energy needed to move that many is way more than what would be needed to move a black hole.
And while Yoda doesn't have much of an obvious weakness himself, the problem is neither does King Mickey. At least nothing that Yoda could really take advantage of.
Even if Yoda could figure out that King Mickey had a limited amount of magic energy to cast spells with, there wasn't much Yoda could do before it would start to replenish.
And the Force isn't exactly limitless either. Too much strain has been proven to put a lot of stress on the body and even kill some Jedi in the past. These two were certainly a match for each other in many ways, but the King's superior speed, power, and magic meant he had the last laugh. Well, sort of.
Sorry, Yoda, but M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U are dead.
The winner is King Mickey.
Okay. So there you go. Okay, so Mickey won. Yoda lost.
I feel like it's just basically because it's like, oh, the light. Like, which of the forces is like the most like can't be defeated force, you know? It's like out of the two forces. It's like, oh, we'll go with the light. Like,
yeah,
you know,
well, light.
If power of friendship can do anything, basically, you know.
The power of friendship.
That's what I feel like it boils down to.
Yeah.
Like, basically.
The power of friendship is unbeatable. What if you have no friends? Well, then you're shit out of luck.
I thought they were about to give it to Yoda whenever he's like, I can try, and he's like, do or do not, there is no try. I was like, that would have been the perfect spot for him to just like come back and just like win.
Yeah.
It's like Mickey fucked up by basically saying like, I can try, and he's like, nope.
Gosh. Yeah, there's a lot of things I have a problem with how this was calculated up, but it's Death Battle. They're gonna do whatever the hell they want. I'll say this though, the animation was good, voice acting not as good, but overall, this was a good start to the season. So I'm anticipating to see what the heck's gonna happen next, but I guess we're just gonna have to see. So for now,
apparently they always skip watching after the end of the video because apparently they usually give a hint of what's going to be next.
Oh yeah.
Downloading the battle
I see
music.
a hedgehog.
Next time, Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah. Okay. Ryuko versus Shadow. Okay. Interesting.
Still haven't watched Kill la Kill, so I'll probably be skipping that one because it's on my list to watch at some point.
Fair enough. So, all right, that was a good battle though. I like that one. So, I guess if you all want to see more from Death Battle, if you want to see that, feel free to click their name in the title of the video. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, leave a like on the video, and I guess until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
We'll see you then, everybody. Peace out.